We're back, everyone. Thanks for staying with us. I just want to delve in a little bit deeper on the backgrounds of our two newest members. Rogelio, again, you joined the program about a year ago. Tell us a little bit about your background. How did you hear about the Real Talk Youth Impact Program?
Well, my background is pretty colorful, and and it all started with me being running the streets since I was 12 years old. And the reason I got in this program is, like I said, is I had to start giving back to the neighborhoods that I took so much away from. And I used to be a bad influence on these kids. Now I'm trying to do something positive instead of trying to be a negative. I'm trying to build them up instead of knocking them down. And like I said, I've been running these streets since 12 years old. And most nights, by the time I made it home, I probably broke all God's commandments and about 7 felonies. And now it's just on the normal. And I spent a third of my life in prison because of my bad choices. And I had a pretty hard life. Brother murdered. Watched my daughter die in my hands. And so everything was against me, and I acted out towards the world like it was the world's fault. And that's why I try to reach out to these kids. You can't put the blame on everybody or anybody. That's your life, and you can't say this person did this to me, this person did this to me, or it's because of him. No, it's your life. Nobody put a gun to your head. Nobody made you do nothing. And you make choices every day, and it's like myself. I made bad choices every day. And it got to the point where trouble got used to me, and pain was just a normal feeling.
Well, and if your choices, if you're able to get through to just one child, and resonate that message to them, that's what it's all about. Being able to just reach that one child that can say, that's me. He's talking to me. He's talking about me.
Right. I look at it like if I could just save one kid, then everything I've been through is worth it. You know what I mean? At least I could teach that kid, so you don't have to grow up to be like me. Because that's what I don't want to see, another person like me. Because I'm pretty sure there was worse people than me. But in my neighborhood, I was pretty much the worst that was there. And I don't want to see another person like that.
And now you're changing that for the good, so that's
nothing
fantastic.
For the good, you know what I mean? And I found Christ, and I try to put that on them too, you know what I mean? Because I wasn't happy until I found Him.
That's great. Thank you for sharing that. And Colette, talk about your background. What was going on in your life prior to being introduced to the program?
So definitely a little bit of a different background than Rogelio, and that's why there's so many members, is that everybody has a different story. My story is that I went to private school my entire childhood. I went to Foreman High School here in town, and still found myself making some poor decisions in my late 30s and got involved with the federal system at that point. So not all the children that are involved in our program are already in the system. We definitely want to be as much of a proactive force in the community as reactive. So if we can get the children before they're actually involved in the system, we definitely want to just go ahead. And a big thing in our program is that we are sharing our testimonies with the children, but we're also funding the children to get involved in extracurricular activities, whether it's sports, music, dance, whatever they want to get involved in. A lot of times the parents would love for their child to get involved in something, but the funding isn't there, whether they're just barely making it from payday to payday, or they're a single parent, or whatever the situation is. A lot of times it's grandparents raising the children. So we want to give them an option, an opportunity to get their child in something that's going to make a change in their lives and give them some focus and some direction. So my story is a little different. Like I said, I went to private school. My parents weren't divorced at a young age, but still I was able to choose to make some wrong decisions. So I did have to learn about accountability versus blame. There's definitely a difference in that. I can say this happened and this happened in my life, and then at that point I made the decision to make poor choices. So I did get involved in the federal system in my late 30s, and that's when I was introduced to the program. The director is an ex-federal parole officer, and it is involved in the federal system. So that's how I got involved in the program.
Well, Chris, we were talking about this during the break, and you were saying how important it is for you to be involved in your kid's life and keep them involved in activities. Just stress to our viewers why these activities are so important that they're actually incorporated into the program.
Well, studies have shown that when kids take part in athletics or music, singing, dance, art, whatever it is, they're consumed by that. and it also gives them something to achieve. As Rogelio was saying, he was the worst in the hood. He strove to be the best at what he did. If it was maybe bad, but he strove to be the best at it. Like most of us in this program, we were the best of the worst. And what we were trying to do by offering these programs is give these children an outlet and something to strive for, to be the quarterback, to be the #1 musician in town, to be a great artist. Because when they're consumed with these things, these activities that we help provide for them, they're less likely to be out there in the streets and committing crimes and doing drugs and creating a negative impact on society.
Well, you're definitely all ambassadors for the program. I mean, you're the first people of contact for the kids when they come in, and you're telling about your testimonies, your stories, your experience. Cherie's objective is to eventually take this across state lines, to grow this program nationally. How do you see your roles changing in the program once that happens, just kind of being ambassadors for the program? And I'll start with you, Rogelio.
Well, never thought about it that far.
You're just kind of taking one day at a
I
time.
think one day at a
Yeah,
time, because
sure.
I do got a full schedule with everything I do in the streets. But I would love to be an ambassador to another state so I could bring my story worldwide, or statewide, or other, from ocean to ocean, whatever it is. Because they're same kids, same problem. You know what I mean? And if I could if my story could save them from what I went through here, over there, then I'm happy for it.
Colette, how do you see your roles changing in the program once the program crosses state lines?
For me, it's going to change a little bit. I've kind of dedicated my full time to this program. My passion is definitely working with children. I have a situation in my own home where my family was broken up due to my poor decisions, and my children have been able to be saved through those situations. So I want to help other families that need the help, and so I definitely am going to be networking. I have a lot of people. I was born and raised in Las Vegas, so I know a lot of people here to start off with, and then I'm going to network and go do a lot of the traveling for Cherie. Cherie has young children, so she'd like to be able to be present in her own children's life too. You can't save everybody else and not do your own home. So her #1 focus is of course her family and then the community. So she would like us to expand and go as much as we can and share our testimonies. The whole point is the members' testimonies changing the children's lives. So Cherie would like the members to do that as much as possible.
Okay, and how do you see you're expanding with the program as it reaches a national level? What do you think your roles are going to be?
Well, I think a lot of us that have been with the program and intend to stay with the program are going to be liaisons of Cherie. We'll show up in these different towns. We'll start to lay the foundation and the structure for a Real Talk program in Dallas or Chicago or wherever the case may be, some of the smaller towns, rural areas, because the program is needed everywhere.
Absolutely.
So, and I basically see our full panel right now of how many people do we have. I'm not sure, 20 some guys and women. So I just see us traveling and setting this up and saving children everywhere.
And I definitely see this as being a referral-based program to bring new members into the program, because with that kind of growth, you're always going to have a need for new members. How can you participate in that referral and get more people to participate in the program? I'll ask that of you, Colette.
I always have business cards of Cherie's with me. I'm always looking for participants and members. That's what our program is about, is growth. So I'm definitely into the growth and development part of it. And #1 is giving people the information, knowing that our website is Real Talk. I'm going to completely forget now, realtalkyip.org, so that people can join, so they can find out information about it. It's just putting the information out there. The more we get out, the more we're around.
You also have other collaborators. Talk about those activities, because it is important for the kids to be involved in activities. Who are some of those collaborators with the program that are making that happen, Rogelio?
Well, first one that comes on, Los Vaqueros.
Those Vaqueros.
Yeah.
Los Vaqueros, yep. That's also a nonprofit, and they're one of our largest contributors. They donated last year some $30,000, I believe, to the program, and all that money goes directly to kids programming for them to do jiu-jitsu or football or whatever the case may be. Another supporter of ours is Matt Maddox from Wynn Casinos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, very big supporter of ours. So we're very grateful for these people, because without their contributions, we would not be able to provide the activities or the funding for the activities for these kids to do, which is the premise of our program.
That's wonderful. Okay, I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take another quick break, but we will be right back after the break. There's so much more that we still want to talk about. Just stay with us.